So I was in this museum a while back, and I just stopped in my tracks in front of this sculpture. It honestly looked like a glitch in reality.
Oh.
Yeah, you had these heavy-looking metal rods just hanging in midair. They weren't touching each other at all, but the whole thing was completely solid. I must have stared at it for 5 minutes trying to find the trick.
It really does defy logic when you first see it, doesn't it? Your brain is searching for the pillar, the base, something holding it all up.
Exactly, but there was nothing.
What you were looking at was pure physics. That's tensegrity.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack how this idea, this floating compression, isn't just for art. It seems to be a fundamental principle that shows up everywhere, from huge bridges to NASA robots and, amazingly, inside our own bodies.
Floating compression is the perfect way to put it. The term tensegrity was coined by Buckminster Fuller. He just mashed together tensional integrity.
Tensional integrity.
And the core mechanic is pretty simple, but it's strict. You have isolated parts under compression, the struts or rods.
The metal bars I saw.
Right. And they're held inside this continuous network of tension, like cables. But the key, the absolute rule, is that the compressed parts never, ever touch each other.
That's the aha moment for me. The hard parts, the struts, are like islands of compression floating in this sea of tension.
Exactly. And that's why some of the early examples, like the Skylon Tower in London back in 1951, were so strange to people. The cables were defining the structure, not a solid column.
So Fuller gets the credit for the name, but was he the first one to build one?
Well, that's where it gets a little complicated. The artist Kenneth Snelson was really the one making those incredible needle tower sculptures.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of those.
He was a student of Fuller's, and they had a bit of a disagreement over who came up with it first. But if you really want to be accurate, you have to go back even further.
How far?
To 1921, a Russian artist, a constructivist named Carlos Johanssons, was making these kinds of floating structures decades before anyone even called it tensegrity.
Wow, so artists were way ahead of the engineers on this.
For a while, yeah, but the engineers definitely caught up. I mean, look at the Kurilpa Bridge in Brisbane, Australia.
The one that looks like a beautiful, chaotic mess of cables and masts.
That's the one. It's the world's largest tensegrity bridge, and it's incredibly strong because the stress is distributed everywhere through the whole web.
Which is why NASA's so interested in it, right? For
Yeah.
that Super Bowl bot.
Yes. It's such a cool concept. Your typical Mars rover is heavy, it's rigid. If it lands too hard, something can snap.
An axle breaks, and the mission is over.
Exactly. But a tensegrity robot is what we call compliant. It doesn't need airbags. You can literally just drop it onto the planet. The impact force ripples through the whole tension network, and it just bounces.
It's a structural shock absorber. It changes shape to take the hit and then snaps right back.
Which is a perfect segue into efficiency and adaptability. But before we get to the really mind-blowing biological part of this, let's talk about efficiency in a different context.
You know, if you're looking to make your business or even your personal projects more efficient, you should probably check out our sponsor, Embersilk.
Absolutely. Whether you need help with AI training, automation, custom software, they're the ones to talk to.
Check them out at embersilk.com to uncover where agents can make the biggest impact for you.
Okay, so we were talking about that robot bouncing on Mars. The reason it can do that is the same reason you don't shatter when you jump down a step.
You're talking about biotensegrity.
A term from Dr. Stephen Levin. For centuries, we've taught anatomy like it's a stack of bricks, the head bone sits on the neck bone, and so on.
Just compression, right? Everything's stacked up fighting gravity.
But if that were true, your bones would just grind to dust when you run. Your skeleton is a tensegrity structure. The bones are the floating struts.
So our muscles, our fascia, all the connective tissue, that's the tension network holding the bones apart.
Precisely. Your bones push out while your connective tissues are constantly pulling in. Your whole body is pre-stressed, which is what makes it so resilient. When you take a step, the force isn't just slamming into your heel.
It's instantly distributed through the entire web of your body.
It even goes down to the cellular level. Donald Engber's work showed that the tiny cytoskeleton inside each of your cells is built on the exact same principle.
That's incredible. So nature figured this out first.
Of course, it's all about efficiency, using the absolute minimum amount of material to create the maximum amount of strength and flexibility.
It really changes how you think about your own body. We're not these rigid towers just trying not to collapse. We're dynamic, balanced networks that are designed to flex and adapt.
Resilient stability, that's the big takeaway. The universe, from a bridge to a single cell, seems to favor it. We're built to be flexible and strong.
I love that. If you enjoyed exploring this with us, please make sure you subscribe to Intellectually Curious.
And hey, if you can, leave us a 5-star review. It really, really helps get the word out.
Thanks for tuning in.